Alright, Lanta, so today continuing on with the new 10th anniversary part 2 character showcases. Yesterday we tried out Aaroniero, recommend that check that out. Today we'll have a look at Jushrio, and then later today we are going to finish up with Renji. But this character right here is probably one of the bigger surprises during the 10th anniversary. I don't think many people expected Jushrio to even get a 1000-year Blood War character in-game, let alone for the 10th anniversary, let alone be this good. I'm here for it though. I do like Jushrio as a character, and I feel like the idea of turning this version into a character is kind of cool, especially with MIMIHAGI just being on display in the background. And right now, at the very least, this is 1 out of 3 characters that need to get new Blood War characters. Since we just started Season 3, it's expected Shunsui is eventually going to get a new Bankai version, hopefully to the same level, if not better, than what they had done here for Jushrio. It would be very weird if Jushrio is better than Shunsui. But also again, Bankayama. It's been 3 years since his last playable SP unit, and we've yet to actually get a playable Bankayama from the anime. That's specifically from episode 6, because his previous version was the past version. Now, Jushrio is a very powerful character as expected, releasing during the 10th anniversary. The best part about him right now is definitely his range, type, attribute type, and also killer effect. He's a ranged Aranka killer, which is going to be great for Guild Quest content. We can't try him out in Guild Quest today, but we will definitely be doing that next week, and it should be no surprise that he is going to be the best and most reliable lead for that Guild Quest phase. But also in general, it's just great to have a very powerful power character. That's something the power attribute has been lacking, so attribute with this character and also Renji, when we showcase him later today, is perfect. When it comes to the new EX skill that he and the other anniversary characters did introduce, his one is basically the same as Ichigo's, offering 22% Berserker at special move level 2. At level 1 it's 18%, at level 5 it's 30%. Remember, the great thing about this is that it does multiply with the character's base Berserker, so it makes him one of the best links in the game, but also further increases his damage output, which in of itself is already high, because what you are going to see is 80% strong attack damage built into the character's kit. Upon inflicting a status ailment, which in this case he can inflict paralysis plus, he gets a 100% spiritual pressure boost. He has 80% more damage to paralyzed enemies. It is 102% because of bonus abilities. And then he also has Frenzy plus 3, so his damage output is just fairly high. It's just really high. It doesn't have anything unique about him technically, which in and of itself isn't a bad thing. You know, Renji, for example, can get more damage with other characters in his team. He gets more damage through the EX skill. That's something that Jushrio doesn't have, but that doesn't mean it's bad by any means. His damage output is just going to be significantly high, is essentially what this character is all about. But other things that I do like about this character is that he is immune to every stat element at a 200% resistance. Similar to 10th anniversary part 1 units, it's something that Renji does lack, is that he does have an extra flash step at Sprinter plus 2, with also Long Stride built in. Personally, I like having my characters with built-in Long Stride, makes them more fun. And then also, most importantly, the only character in the game to have this right now, where as a skill, not through an enemy's defeated ability, he just offers 10% strong attack recharge every time you move into another map. That means when you are playing this character in single player co-op content, Limit Breaker for example, the cooldown will reduce every time you move into another stage, another map. It's especially a Limit Breaker skill. It's really good in Limit Breaker, but it's just also really good in general, even in Senkaman content. So yeah, overall, keep it simple. Jushrio is just a very strong character. There's a lot of great things about him when it comes to the skill set. In terms of how to build him, keep it simple. Lieutenant's Badge at 5-star plus, Fortification Pill, and also a T-set. In a way, one of the best parts about this character too, being a power unit, is that he has also access to some really good soul traits, assuming you do have them, so we are using these 3 soul traits in particular. And then for bonus abilities, since he does have Long Stride built into the character's skill set, I personally gone with full stamina damage and also damage to paralyzed enemies. Alright, so first up, let's take the character into co-op links or trials, just to get a good feel of the character. So his strong attack 1 is going to be like a vacuum-like attack. Groups everyone together, pretty good for just inflicting status ailments. And then his SA2 is AoE in front of him. It is a superior strong attack too, so it's capable of doing some real good damage. And then expected, his SA3 is a full screen. Honestly, when I first reacted to this character, he's a really good character. I really like the visuals of that SA3 as well, but the SA1 and 2 visuals are kind of just random, just blue slashes. Admittedly, it's because he doesn't do anything. But, you know, when you actually play with a character, his visuals don't look that bad when everything is moving fast. But I definitely do think if the SA2 had, like, MIMIHAGI effects, it would have looked better. Because the song was actually really good. Obviously, he is activating MIMIHAGI, holding the world together. I do like the MIMIHAGI effects, and it does look good on the SA3 as well, so I would have kind of loved to have seen that on all the other strong attacks, but his strong attack kit feels very good to play as well. Sound effects even. Which in the SO3 sounds good as well. Strong attacks are pretty much one-shot here, despite us not going up against any Arankars. But I am noticing there are hidden enemies, so I am going to have to change a bonus ability here to make it so we can hit hidden enemies. But very smooth gameplay. In a way, from what I played with Renji, while I do think Renji is a better character, because he has higher insane damage potential. At least right now during this quest, Jushrio does feel a bit more smooth to play with. Alright, so attempt number 2, let's see how it goes. So again, we're going to use our SA1 to inflict the SP boost. That SA2 there, if you see, it annihilates them. That's like crazy that it's able to one-shot that boss. Like, you don't even get to see him spawn in almost. So you do a lot of damage with that SA2. Really good range to it as well. SA3 also pretty much one-shotting with the strong attack damage output that he does have, which to be fair is fairly high. Here we go, SA2. You just don't get to see the enemy spawn in. And we aren't even using his EX attack, which is a vortex. It's mostly just for crowd control. It does, again, the character's visuals are better than what I initially expect, but I would have preferred, again, if it had, like, black MIMIHAGI effects, because that SA3 does look good. So this is where I should be sobbing, actually. There we go. We did lose some full stamina damage, but it's fine. It is fine. And then we'll just grab the sub bomb once more. Let's use our 2, almost took out the entire room there and killed the boss with one strong attack. And it's worth mentioning too with this character, right, because he does have a 100% spiritual pressure boost in a way that's more future-proofing himself for whenever we do get a new character that can multiply their spiritual pressure boost through an EX skill, similar to what Ruki has, but in the power attribute. So very easily done, even though we took damage there. 49-second clear time. We definitely, though, can perfect that. So almost to our third attempt here, which very well could be our last one. Maybe not, I've already messed up the... Can I kill here? Yeah, we kill in 1 frame. Unfortunately, I took damage, so maybe we have to do one more attempt here. But I'm trying to think, when do I want to use the EX attack? Because one thing you'll notice is that, like, he doesn't need to use it. And to be fair, that's like a lot of the anniversary characters here, because they just have, like, additional damage effects with the EX. I think only Renji right now is the character that actually multiplies his damage output. So Renji has a reason to use it. Whereas these characters, they're just doing so much damage and they're clearing so fast with their natural strong attacks. They don't really need to use the EX. Although, Jushrio's is a really good one. That being, you know, a vortex, right? So we got it again, just use the soul bomb. Very easily done. So in that case, 43 seconds. One more attempt. Let's get that sub 40. So here we go. Let me grab everyone there, because that was unfortunately the problem that I had. SA3 one-shots there. Love to see it. And I guess in the next case, we can SA1. Good back range to it. Let's EX. Maybe that can do something. Reliably inflict the paralysis is what it does do. Unfortunately, took some damage, but that's not going to slow us. It slows us down a little bit. But I think we can still get our sub 40. So we go. Again, we have the extra flash steps. So, boom. And then let's not even grab the heals. We don't even need them. We really don't. Grab the soul bomb. And then a little football. There we go. Lovely. That's kind of maybe an underappreciated part of all these characters that released during the 10th anniversary. All of them have really high damage in soul bombs. I know soul bomb damage isn't like that special anymore since they stopped nuking in Guild Quest, but still, I would say having a strong soul bomb is still important. It still adds to their damage output. And if for some reason anything does survive Jushrio soul bomb, it's paralyzing them, it's weakening their defense and allowing us to do more damage. So in that case, 34-second clear time, easily done, even when we slowed ourselves down by taking a hit. We probably could get a sub 30 using Jushrio. So next up, let's jump into the Ultra Rukia Awakened Epic Raid with the new Ultimate. So next up, let's take her into the Ultra Rukia Awakened Epic Raid. Quite a long title here. I would assume the amount of HP the Ultra Epic Raid does have is higher. It's technically supposed to be harder. But what you're going to see with a character like Jushrio, you likely won't even realize that. Especially right now, and this is the case for every attribute, we have access to a 3 times damage character, in this case with Jushrio for the power attribute. Now, similar throughout the entire video, we are building him the exact same. This time, of course, though, we are using 3 Toshiro Familiars, offering 60% full stamina and 60% Berserker. So jumping into a solo run first to see if we can potentially beat it by ourselves. What we're going to see here... Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Got really lucky. Because that was the only time we were able to inflict the status on it. So we're going to keep it going. Keep the momentum going. I was pretty much about to say that we're not reliably going to get our status proc. And if we do, we kill very fast. So we actually would have been able to almost one-shot there with that SA2 if I use my Vortex. Maybe I want to use the Vortex now. It does give a good opportunity to inflict the status on it. Like that, for example. And then go in, sub one. SA2. Into the 1. Look at that. There you go. Crazy damage output, like most characters. Jushrio's not unique in this regard, but crazy damage output when you do inflict the status on him. With the way Epic Raids works, trying to do a solo run. Again, really do like that end pose with MIMIHAGI actually moving. But when it comes to trying to do a solo run, you know, and clear fast, for example, 30 seconds, around 80 plus million damage in 30 seconds, it really just comes down to if we actually inflict the status on him. And in this case, hey, pretty good for our first attempts. But now let's go ahead and do a full lobby. In this case, let's see how fast we can clear. Hopefully once more similar in 30 seconds time, right? So I'm going to just spam my strong attacks. Use my sub on phase 2 personally. SA3. Into the 1. Look at that. Going to let off my EX. Another Jushrio let it off. Too many MIMIHAGIs going around, and in that case, we cleared in 10 seconds. And that's pretty much what you're going to see in every attribute for the entire month, because every character here, 3 times damage bonus, all anniversary characters in different attributes, dealing insane levels of damage against Epic Raid Boss, even when they do raise the amount of HP it does have. But let's do one more run. Let's see if we can get maybe even faster. Probably not. Similar clear time at the very least, right? Oh, we got the SP boost right away. And we got the weakening proc too. Summer Sobon. Never mind, I guess I don't have to. Did someone apply... Oh! Okay, unfortunately I got hit. All my damage is gone. At least the damage from me, it's over. When everyone's using the Soul Bomb, sometimes it does get a bit too hectic. SA2. Damage has been gutted heavily here. Not going to be as fast, but still, we're going to brute force our way through it nonetheless. Paralysis does briefly stop the enemy from attacking. We constantly inflicted status damage there. They didn't even get a chance to attack. Poor Rukia. Unfortunately, never hit. Oh, it's all over the place. Oh, am I dodging? Okay, hold on. If you're wondering why the storms are glitched, it's because my refresh rate tile. So when someone skips the storm, it does kind of glitch out like that on PC. There we go. That wasn't a good run, but we already got an example of a solo run clearing in 30 seconds. The second attempt being a good example of when things go well, which most likely is going to reflect majority of your runs. And sometimes not all the runs do go well, but we still cleared in under a minute time. 43 seconds, we'll take it. After that, now let's try him in Limit Breaker, where again, he's going to be a really good character here, especially if you do not own the other desired characters for slot 2 and 3. The benefit that Jushrio has here is really that strong attack recharge. So in Limit Breaker, when the character is next available, you're going to have all your strong attacks available, ready to use from the get-go. Maybe one of them will have a second or 2 cooldown, because it is only 10% compared to Soifon and Ichigo's 15 and 20%. But honestly, from what I've seen, 10% is enough. It really is. If one strong attack has like 2-second cooldown, by the time you use your other 2 strong attacks, that third strong attack will be ready to be used. So in this case, our build is pretty much the same across the board once more for slot 2 and 3. Alright then, so here we go. Let's see how Jushrio does perform in the current Limit Breaker quest. Again, I'm really hoping we can actually use him in multiple Limit Breaker quests going forward into the future, because he is going to be a really good character in this mode, especially for that recharge. So with Giselle, we just used our strong attack 3. Didn't quite see the cooldown, but in this case, Ishin has a 10-second cooldown. And even though we're mostly here to look at how Jushrio does perform, remember, he is helping out our other allies too, with Giselle's SA3 not being fully recovered, but still fine as is, because we need to, you know, use other strong attacks first and foremost. Same with Ishin. The SA3 wasn't fully recovered, but, you know, we're going to spend that time using the SA1 and 2. So by the time we even get around to using the strong attack 3, the attack has been recovered, you know? So let's make sure we paralyze. Again, paralysis is a really good strong attack here, or status limit, sorry, when it comes to Limit Breaker. Just dropping enemies in place, and then we can use any strong attack we want to. Let's go down here, make sure Giselle doesn't get inflicted with status limits. So SA1. So Giselle's going to be the weird one. Let's EX now. We might have to sub him on Giselle's next stage, and rely on the damage to dominate to take him out, you know? So pretty good damage there. Giselle is going to be our slowest character here, but it's fine. One of your better characters to use if you do not own the new Renji. If you have Renji, though, of course, definitely use him in this slot. The unfortunate part is that one enemy is just going to be... just doesn't want to get inflicted with status limits, even though we did use our Dominate or EX attack. Damn, this enemy does not want to go down. Hello? Okay, there we go. Finally, that was brutal. Fortunately, Jushrio and Ishin are going to make up for it. Me and my SA3 that to grab the box. Use the SA2. That's going to inflict the burn and less rate. Just don't get too close because they can actually attack us. SA1, and then back up, and then we'll use our 2. 2 will finish up, and then by the time Ishin's next available, we'll have our strong attacks ready to go. So 3 minutes, and we have done our first rotation. Not the fastest. Giselle unfortunately slowed us down here a bit. But again, best character. To be fair, I should use Grebby. Why am I using Giselle? I'm kind of setting up the run. I should have used Giselle there, not... I should have used Grebby there, not Giselle. But you can use Giselle if you want to. Realistically, I don't think it matters that much. There we go. That's like 2. If anything, we might have to use Renji and then jump to our next stage, where we'll use Jushrio like 25, I think is the stage you want to use Jushrio in. So the next poison enemy stage that isn't this one, for example. Well, I guess we can use our EX here. Again, the EX is more so... I think it's better when you aren't up against the rankers, because it is a tracking vortex. It hits a lot of times. And has a higher chance to inflict paralysis. So I've, fortunately, used my SA3 there. Still pretty good clear time with that particular stage. So Giselle, do I want to sub him here? I might have to. We might have to sub him here. So let's sub him. Apply the Dominate. Weaken defense. 1 million damage there per tick. And then we can use our EX next time. We don't even need to. There we go. That was much better. That was much better. So I guess we probably can make it in the Jushrio stage, to be fair. And maybe even still clear pretty fast. Let's back up. As I do. But yeah, Jushrio's Vortex is more so just the reliably inflict Stasments when you aren't up against the Ronkers. And therefore don't have your increased Stasment chance. We have a minute to go. Can we get into stage 25 with Jushrio? Let's find out. Let's find out. So Giselle still pretty much one-shotting, although mine, to be fair, is max transcended. Ishin doing good thus far. Are we able to, like, Nah, it's fine. We don't even need to be picky with our strong attacks. I was going to say, can we take out that room with just 2 strong attacks? But we honestly don't even need to use... Like, don't need to limit ourselves. The character's strong attacks are going to be ready to go. And that also does help him out, considering he does have a superior strong attack too. Which I guess is worth mentioning with Jushrio. Because it does have a longer cooldown than usual, right? Are we able to kill this in 30 seconds? Be kind of cool if we can. Let's use our 3. Use our 1. The 1 is pretty much guaranteed to inflict paralysis. Let's use our 2. We can use this SA2 twice. Also get another attempt with the Vortex 2. Make sure we get the enemy in the back too. Really good damage here. We should be fine, even though we are pushing it. It seems like we are going to be able to get into stage 25, where right now we are capped using Giselle. But that's still pretty good. Honestly, it really is. You know, while we might have been a tad bit slower, not using the most optimal character in slot 2, maybe technically in slot 3, but Ishin's an absolute beast. We were able to clear stage 2, 3, 5, 6, 11, 12, 14, 15, etc. a lot faster because our characters were able to use their strong attacks. We actually did really good there, besides the unfortunate stage 8 where, you know, that one last enemy did not want to be inflicted with Stasments. But Jushrio, man, he's just consistent high damage output, you know, compared to Renji that has like a super high due to his EX skill. You know, Jushrio doesn't have that, but he has the survivability. But he has the really good quality of life skills. He's fully immune to every Stasment. Good strong attacks. Good damage output. Not as high as Renji's, but good. Really high consistent damage. Constantly inflicting Stasments. Paralysis in this case, keeping himself safe and making your other allies better. And then lastly, let's take the character into stage 3, mission set 3 of the Sorry Senkamon quest. This is one of the more difficult challenges, especially when the missions are to use no character links. Now, right now, and to be fair, this might be a permanent change. Maybe it's only for the anniversary, I'm not really too sure. But in the case that if it ever does return, where you only have to use accessories and no character links, I want to see if Jushrio can beat this quest. If it can't, it's fine, not many characters can, especially because this character is reliant on going against the Ronkars, and right now there are Quincy enemies. I will say from my initial testing, you definitely will be able to beat this if you have a Jushrio at 2 out of 5. But at 1 out of 5, it might be a bit difficult. So let's actually just push back. Use our EX. Then use the 1. Try and hopefully inflict them with Lacerate. Or sorry, Paralysis. SA2. Okay, pretty good there. We're looking good on time right now. We might be able to do this. Let's SA3. We just don't want to save any strong attacks. Dodge, SA1. No status proc here, but let's not use that SA2 just yet. Oh, okay, that's good. Let's SA2 now. Then SA1. Again, all we need is 1 second into the final stage. We might have to reset the stage. Maybe I didn't have the best luck here with RNG stat azimuths. But SA3. It's actually really close. Hold on. SA2. Can the SA1 kill? Oh, okay, we're very close. We can do this. We need to restart, though. All right, here we go. SA1. Into the 3. Actually got a status proc on that one. I mean, that's pretty good. That's SA1. Going to push me back. I don't want to use the 2 yet, even though I probably should. Just in case. We get a status proc, then we use it. Like that. Does this kill him? Oh my god. Does it count? I'm going to count it as a 1 minute because that was so close. But let's just restart until we get the instant kill. There we go, like that, for example. You can summon right away. Does that class as under 1 minute? I mean, we're going to find out, but either way, it's super close. We might not even ever need to do this challenge again, but technically it's possible. There we go. We actually did it in under 60 seconds. It's quite reset heavy, though, and you really are against the clock. You need to get lucky on your status procs. There are better characters out there that clear it faster, but still, nonetheless, even though we did rely on the, the instant kill cheese, it is still impressive that we were able to beat this in under 1 minute without using any character links. So there you have it. That's basically JUSHRIO in a nutshell. An absolutely amazing character. I'm quite happy this character does exist. Again, I think like many are surprised this character exists and is this good. He's a really powerful unit, and I'm sure every JUSHRIO fan out there is super happy to have him. Hopefully you did get him if you are a JUSHRIO fan, because he deserves it, right? He, after all, is one of the MVPs in the 1000-Year Blood War arc. Despite him not fighting anyone, his role was still important nonetheless. This realistically is the last time this character can get a super powerful unit, especially a canon one, so I'm really glad they took this opportunity to give him a powerful character. And again, because of how powerful this character is, I'm excited to see how Bankei Shunsui, and hopefully a new Bankei Yamamoto, is going to turn out. Like I already stated multiple times since this character's release, my only nitpick with this character is the visuals. I would have liked more MIMIHAGI effects, but it doesn't stop him from being a pretty fun and powerful character. A great addition, in my opinion, to the 10th anniversary. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you like to think about this character in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.